In this video manual, we're going to take a look at a program called BorderX. This is a mask program that offers 100 different graphic images with a blank area that can be filled with video. So these graphics then become a frame for your scene. In order to use BorderX, we do need to be running a system software version of SmartEdit 2.5 or above. If you're running the SmartEdit 3 version, then you do need to be running 3.1 or above. Any of the SmartEdit 4 versions or above will work fine for you. Let's go over to the Edit menu, and we can see that we're referencing some footage here from an aquarium. The first place you're going to locate BorderX is under the Pattern Generator, or also known as the Image Pool, found here under the New button. Alphabetically in your list here, select Pattern, and then left-click on the Select Pattern to open the Pattern Generator. Here you're going to see your common image pool, and referencing your SmartEdit 4 training video, you'll see the walkthrough of this particular menu. But up at the top is your option here for product. In this case, we are referencing the BorderX program. Under BorderX, it also has images and masks to work with. Either using masks or images is going to create a new scene in your scene bin of what you see here right into the preview. So we're not actually going to be filling this in with video, but creating a still pattern of this particular scene. As the choice of masks under BorderX, these basically are creating a black and white outline of the particular mask that you've selected, and will create that scene in the scene bin. If you choose images, then this actual scene will actually have the image that you see here in the preview. Simply left-click on the elevator slider here to scroll through your list, and you'll see that you have a large selection of different masks to choose from. You can choose whether or not you wish to use the actual color of the image, or choose to colorize it by left-clicking the on-off switch for your colorize mode. And left-clicking on colorize allows you to open up your palette here to open the mode to mix 3 different colors, using different color wheels and choosing different colors to mix into that pattern if you wanted to. You can also adjust and add different filter levels here for brightness, contrast, or a color saturation for your particular still. Once you change the colorize options, you can see that your pattern is now going to change from its original attributes to the new colorized mode. You can also just turn this off if you wish to go right back to your original pattern shape. And we have other options here to flip the direction of this particular pattern. In order to build it, all you have to do is choose which pattern you'd like to use. In this case, I'm going to scroll up and just pick a miscellaneous pattern here, in this case a little film border, and hit OK to close the pattern generator. And then choose the length at which you like to have this scene created in your scene bin. In this case, I'll just set it up to be a 4-second scene, and then hit OK to build it. This is now a new scene in the scene bin of that still pattern for 4 seconds. And you can hit play to check your particular still graphic. A very nice high quality pattern. The other area that you can use the BorderX is actually using it as a mask. And in this case, the black area or the alpha channel area of the mask will be filled in with whatever video you chose in your scene bin. In this case, I'm going to just randomly choose one of our aquarium shots here and find the other area for BorderX. This time it's located under Special. South of the white divider line in Special, you'll notice that you have your separation of filters that come with Special north of the white line, and then the filters that you will also find in Image Processing south of the white line. In this case here we'll find BorderX. The BorderX has 2 options for your scene. One is set for full size and the other is for reduced size. The full size preview is basically going to make your image fill up the entire screen and just lay the mask on top of it. So it's not going to compress, and some of your information may not fit inside the border area. Setting it to reduced size is kind of like adjusting it to be like a picture-in-picture so that the full image fits inside your pattern shape from the BorderX masks. Let's take a look at what's actually going on when we're talking about that. For now, we're going to set this to full size. Under Select Border, we're going to open up the BorderX program. Here is a tech tip. Anytime you're using one of our X mask programs, as I like to call them, for programs like BorderX or things like SplitX or TitleBacks, these are different mask programs that Macrosystem offers to have for your image pool. Make sure that you're always selecting the program in your special bin that you're going to also have set for your product. So we chose BorderX back here in the special bin, which means when we open the pattern generator, we also want to make sure that the product is also set for BorderX. Don't switch this to one of the other X masks like SplitX to reference for your images. This may cause a conflict in your list bin. So if you wish to use SplitX images or TitleBacks images, make sure you switch those back in your special bin and make sure that the product is set for the same type. Now that we have BorderX selected as our product, you can see that the type is defaulted in gray here, which means we can't choose one of the other options. We are going to actually lay this particular mask that you see here in full size over your image in the scene bin. We're going to choose one of these random images here, one that might seem a little more appropriate for a particular undersea footage here as the aquarium. We'll choose this one here again, and we'll hit OK. In order to see what's happening, I recommend coming in here and left-clicking on Full Size Preview. And we can see here under Full Size Preview, making sure display is set to Effect so we can see the effect of the mask on the scene. If I minimize the screen, we can see that the image of the fish actually is still at a full-size image. So there's areas of the video information that are still covered up here by the mask. And we can click our frame slider to see how the images are moving within inside this framed mask. If we choose to set this to reduced size, under reduced size, this is going to actually make the image try to fit as much of it as it can inside the actual mask of the BorderX. So it's almost like the outer edges of this image are now out around the sides here of this particular pattern. If we want, we can come back in here to select border to choose a different pattern shape. And perhaps you might want to use something like one of these fun, creative little old film type effects and borders. And now this kind of tries to make it fit. You can see definitely a reduced size that this image is trying to fit inside this BorderX. And a full size is going to actually try to take up more of that image. So now the outer edges are a little farther out without it being compressed inside that mask. So you do have a choice of what you'd like to have fit inside there for your borders. Once you've chosen a mask that you'd like to work with, in this case, again, I'm going to switch just to show you some different masks here. We'll choose this film strip. And here's a preview. We can see how this, again, is a reduced size image, so it's trying to squeeze as much of this scene in here into the open alpha areas of this particular mask. We can hit OK to close your full size preview and OK to actually build your filter. The scene will build to the right of the clip you had currently selected so that when you hit play, you'll now see your scene inside your BorderX mask. This scene then thus can be added to your storyboard, and you can start adding titles to this scene, or you can start adding transitions for this to go into one clip into another. But it definitely gives you a nice way to mask or border your particular images in your scene bin with a variety of different fun little masks that the BorderX program can offer you. So BorderX masks, check it out from your Macrosystem dealer or from Macrosystem US to apply some neat masks onto your video to give you some more variety to work with.